All right, let's get right into it. We're going to be talking about one of the most powerful and, yeah, sometimes one of the most intimidating techniques out there, dynamic programming. But here's the thing. It's a super fancy name for what is actually a brilliantly simple idea that can take a painfully slow algorithm and make it lightning fast. And that's really the secret sauce, right there. What if the key to cracking a massive, complicated problem was actually to be smart about avoiding work? We're talking about avoiding doing the exact same work over and over again, and that simple idea is what we're going to unpack today. So, to really appreciate why dynamic programming is such a game changer, we first have to understand the problem it was born to solve. And that problem is the colossal waste of time that comes from just trying to brute force your way through a solution. Let's paint a picture with a classic example. Imagine you've got a rod of metal, and you have a price list for different lengths. Your job? Figure out the absolute best way to cut this rod up to make the most money. You could sell it in one big piece or slice it into a dozen tiny pieces. You're hunting for that perfect combination that gives you the max profit. Now, the most obvious way to tackle this is just, well, try everything. Check the profit for every single combination of cuts you can possibly make. For a short little rod, that might seem okay, but look at that number on the screen. 2 to the power of n minus 1. The number of possibilities just explodes exponentially. This gets completely out of control fast. And this slide right here, this visualizes the waste perfectly. To find the best way to cut a simple rod of length 4, our basic algorithm ends up recalculating the best price for a rod of length 2 multiple times. It does the same thing for length 1 and for length 0. You can literally see the branches of this tree repeating themselves. All that redundant work is exactly what makes this brute force method so incredibly slow. So how in the world do we stop all this wasteful repetition? This is where our clever, kinda lazy trick comes into play. It's all about a strategy for remembering our work, so we never ever have to do it twice. And here it is, the formal definition. Dynamic programming, or DP for short, is really about 2 key things. First, you break a big problem down into smaller, bite-sized subproblems. And second, this is the magic part, you store the answers to those subproblems. That last part is the whole point. Each little problem gets solved only once. Now, you might be thinking, hey, this sounds a lot like divide and conquer. And you're not wrong, but there's a huge difference. You see, divide and conquer works when the smaller pieces of the puzzle are totally independent of each other. Dynamic programming shines when those subproblems overlap, when they share even smaller subproblems, just like in our rod cutting example. DP is all about reusing old work, not starting from scratch every single time. One of the most common ways to actually do this is with a technique called memoization. The best way to think about it is like you're keeping a cheat sheet. You start solving the big problem, but every single time you need to figure something out, you first look at your cheat sheet. Have I already solved this exact piece of the puzzle? If the answer is yes, you just grab it. No work needed. If it's no, you do the calculation, and then, critically, you write the new answer down on your sheet for the next time you might need it. Okay, theory's great, but let's go back to our rod cutting puzzle and see what actually happens when we apply this new superpower, dynamic programming. And wow, this just perfectly shows the transformation. On the left, you've got that chaotic, tangled, exponential mess of our first try. And on the right, that's the elegant simplicity of the DP solution. We figure out the best value for a rod of length 1, and we store it. Then length 2, store it, then 3, and so on. Each problem is a single point, solved exactly 1 time. All that crazy repetition, it's just gone. And the impact on performance is just staggering. We've gone from an exponential running time, that's 2 to the power of n, down to a polynomial time, something around n squared. To put that in plain English, that's the difference between an algorithm that becomes totally useless for anything but the tiniest problems, and one that's actually efficient and can scale up to solve real-world challenges. But the power of DP goes way beyond cutting rods. Let's look at another classic problem, just to see how massive the savings can be when you apply this thinking. So get this, when you have to multiply a long string of matrices together, the final answer is going to be the same no matter what order you do it in. But the amount of work it takes, the number of calculations, can change dramatically based on how you group them. The whole goal is to find the order that takes the least amount of effort. Okay, let's see this in action. For a simple chain of just 3 matrices, A, B, and C, if we decide to multiply B and C together first, it could take us a whopping 75,000 individual little multiplications to get our final answer. But what if we just shift the parentheses and multiply a and b first instead? The total number of multiplications plummets to just 7,500. That is a 10 times reduction in work. It's insane. And dynamic programming is the technique that lets a computer find that optimal, cheapest order without having to try every single one. So this all sounds amazing, right? But the big question is, how do you know when to use it? Well, when you're staring down a new problem, there are two telltale signs that it might be a perfect job for dynamic programming. First, the problem has to have something called optimal substructure. It's a fancy way of saying that the best solution to the whole big problem is built from the best solutions to its smaller parts. Just like the best way to cut our rod involved finding the best ways to cut the smaller pieces it was made of. And second, it has to have overlapping subproblems. That's the wasteful repetition we keep talking about. If you spot both of these characteristics, chances are DP is the way you want to go. I think this quote just nails the entire philosophy. It's all about being methodical. You solve every little piece of the puzzle just one time, save that answer in a table, and then you avoid all the extra work by just looking up the answer whenever you need it again. It's efficiency through memory. And really, this is more than just a coding trick. It's a powerful way to think. So think about it for a second. What big, complex project are you facing right now? Is there a way to break it down into smaller, repeatable parts? Because by solving those little pieces once and reusing those solutions, you might just find a much, much smarter path forward. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.